Hello everyone, welcome back to Nomifactory. Last episode we produced some indium, in which we could make indium gallium phosphide, and make cheaper circuits. We're on the cheapest EV now, and the second cheapest IV. Also a much better LUV circuit, as well as ZPM, if we really want to, although it's the bad one, the mainframe. And we also made a quad EBF, on demand, for making these weird alloys, that we don't really want to passive. And also, the alloy blast smelter, which does have unique recipes. It actually does say so. I'm blind. Anyway, since then, I have extended the clean room downwards. We have space for 5 more machines, on each side, so 10. There may or may not be multi-blocks we need, in the clean room, so we might have to move this, or expand it, maybe up to here, so it's up against this wall, and this one. That might be a good idea. I guess we'll do that, when we need to. And I also got the next coils going. HSSG. I haven't made any yet. This one's actually off, because the coils are mismatched. I was going to replace them all, at once. I should probably do that now, in fact. By the way, HSSG is this: tungsten steel, chrome, molybdenum, vanadium, and you get 9. So it's pretty cheap, kinda easier than RTM. And the coils require these two, and tungsten, but it's an IV assembler. Maybe I should get that going. We don't have any IV machines, yet. So I'll start the IV line. So IV assembler. We can do it. Lovely jubbly. And we also need a converter. Oh, there's a quest. So just like the other lines, cable, converter, RF P2P, and connect it. And the wire is aluminum. Great. Elite assembling machine. Very pretty. The IV machines are probably the best looking. Nice and clean. Okay, so to replace these 4, all the coils, we need 46. So 46 times 8, HSSG wire. We can just about do it. I should probably increase the buffer. It was like 512. We just used over half of it. 1024. That's fine. And we also need the same amount of this. Tungsten carbide foil. Only 92. Easy. And also 46 tungsten, as a liquid. God, this might take a while. I guess I'll do other stuff, while this melts. We can't really go much faster. We can do EV, for about 4.5 seconds, but not faster than that. The IV one's weird. It needs stuff that we don't have. So I'm fine just leaving it there. Okay, so today I want to do ore processing with the big multi-blocks. And I want to do it here. So I guess I'll build the area first. Okay, so I'm not sure if this is enough space. We might have to increase it this way. A bit. Yay! This just finished. Like 10 seconds ago. So we can make the coils. Awesome. Okay, that'll be a while. 23 minutes, to be exact. Okay, so my plan is to do these 4 machines, but as multi-blocks. Because I noticed when I look through the byproducts of ores, it's always these 2 that I'm most interested in. Almost every single time. I guess not this one. I think about 90% we want to be doing this way. So macerator, ore wash, thermal centrifuge, and macerate again. So let me mark out the machines, and see how much space this is, that it takes up. We might want 2 of like every machine, because everything's the same speed, but you get like 2, or even 4, crushed ore per ore. So do we want 1 macerator, and then every machine after that, like 2, or even 4, or is that dumb? Or, I think we'll go with 1, and we'll overclock, or parallelize, so the ratios are done correctly. Yeah, I think we do. Need another square. Okay, there we go. Ore processing. So we have a macerator, ore washer, thermal centrifuge, macerator. So we'll start with the macerator, the first one, which is ore to crushed ore. But I'm thinking we might need another centrifuge, because the large centrifuge unit can be a normal centrifuge, as well as a thermal centrifuge. So we might as well have 2, one doing each thing. There we go, that's better. So the 2 choices are macerator, ore wash, thermal centrifuge, macerator. And the other one is macerator, ore wash, macerator, centrifuge. So we should be able to do these 2, or these 2. Or do we want these 2? So macerate, centrifuge. I guess we can do everything with this design. Okay, so the first one, macerator. Let's see if we can do it. The large maceration tower. It looks like this. We just need to encode the controller, the casing, and the crushing wheels. It seems to be IV stuff, and some random alloys. So I'll get encoding. So we can make the controller. Seems fine. There we go. 67 casing. apparently. We're just missing Xeron 100, which is a funny ABS recipe, so we'll have to automate this. Okay, so the recipe is this: iron, nickel, tungsten, niobium, cobalt, and you get Xeron 100. Some of it. I don't know how much that is. 16 ingots. And this is a molten version, so we have to vacuum freeze it with an ingot mold. Should we set up a different one for liquids, so this one doesn't get us backed up? That sounds like a good idea. Let's do that. By the way, we should be able to use an old dictionary filter. Every molten liquid has a recipe in this. But does this work with liquids? I don't know. I might have to set this up right here, beside it. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll have it right here, and let me adjust this path, so it makes sense a bit. There we go. We have a weird shaped thing, but it's fine. The vacuum freezer can go right here. Also, the coils are done. You can't see it. So I can replace everything here, and it should give a boost to at least these two. Ugliest coils known to man. What is this colour? Oh well. Liquid is next, also known as the best coils. Look at this. Black. We're just not quite there yet. The LUV, 12-second RTM. This doesn't change though. The HSSG. But these two do. This might be 15 seconds now for tungsten, which is so fast. That'll come in handy for when we do nuclear craft again, which we will have to do at some point. Anyway, the vacuum freezer. This will be IV, so 2 EV, just so it's fast enough. It might be way overkill. So ingot mold in a input bus, and we just input the liquid into here. This is a spare one. Some of the recipes require 2. Yeah, like this. So we might have to do that at some point. And to pass the liquids, I'll just use a tank. There's no temperature limit, so it won't explode or anything. And we can power it, of course. And I put the output bus on the bottom. That's probably fine. And a P2P. Okay, so to automate this thing, we definitely want a separate input bus for each circuit number. So this one is 15 if we want liquids. And I might combine the hatches into a quad one again. It's like way easier. I'll put it on the bottom. Why not? And now we have loads more space for input buses. So fluid interface, helium, there we go. And connect this. Alloy blast smelter, 15. Okay, this should be ready to go. So we encode this to 16. Okay, let's give it a go. 16 Xeron 100. Ooh, it's working. 201 seconds. Brilliant. It's not actually that bad, considering you get 16. That's like only 12 seconds per one. There's loads worse than that with blast furnaces. It's about to finish. Yay! I'm glad this is basically instant, because it auto pushes and auto pulls. Awesome. Xeron 100. Very cool. Now can we make the casing? Yes we can. This might take a long time though. Oh well. Might as well get the crushing wheels going as well. It's even more casing. 18. We can do it. We're probably using so much power right now. Both of these are on. Also lots of these. Wow. Yeah, look at this. We're using about half. That's a lot. Okay, so I'll return with everything. It's just gonna take time. I'll get all the hatches and stuff, and buses. So see you in a bit. Okay, I've got everything. That took a while, like half an hour. I'm going to be using fancy hatches too. I will explain them in a bit. First we shall build it. So energy, we'll be doing EV, and the rest will be parallelized at 4x EV. So the ratio should be good. So power, bunch of casing. Input I want here, and we'll be using a stocking input bus. It's a little pricey, a few IV things, but look at that last sentence. Auto pull from ME mode will automatically stock the first 16 items in the ME system. So this is absolutely perfect if we use a subnet. And a regular ME output bus. These are actually fine. I should have been spamming these before, but oh well. It's basically just an output bus into an interface, but one block instead of 2. Now the controller, and an automatic maintenance hatch. It's just a maintenance hatch that fixes itself. I should have really been using these before. I'll try to start doing that now. They're just a little pricey, a bunch of HV stuff, and the rest is casing. We're short 4. That's fine. It made a bit extra anyway. And crushing wheels. Yay! Maintenance fine. These are crazy. I love them. Let's plug it into power. Okay, so we want a tiny subnet with an ME chest. I've never actually used these, but they do have their uses, like in this case. And 2 interfaces. So we need to give it power, but not connect it. And we want an OR dictionary storage bus. On high priority, and we type in OR, I think. Also wildcard. And insert only. Now we just need a storage cell. I guess we have a 64K. Why not use that? There we go. Mini AE system. And if we connect this, our big system should be able to input into this system, but only with OR. So let's do some redstone. So if we take out a stack and put it back in, it should be put into here. Yes. Brilliant. The other side is for manual filtering, by the way, with a regular storage bus. Just make sure to filter something. Barrier. Otherwise it will chuck anything in, and we don't want that. Okay, so now we connect up the stocking input bus and turn this button on. There we go. It's working. It's doing 1 every 3 seconds, which isn't the greatest, but we can upgrade this slowly by adding better energy hatches and paralyze it more too with these hatches. We haven't got one on yet, but I'm going to keep the ratio correct, so 1-4. So when we upgrade the rest to 16, we'll add a 4x1 on this one, if that makes sense. Okay, so what do I do with the output now? This needs to be ore washed next, so that should work with another one of these, on this one, for crushed ore. But what do I do with the rest? Do I just export into the system? Huh. That works. Oh wait, yeah, let's not do that. It's going back in itself. Okay, I've rearranged some stuff, and it works perfectly now. We have one interface, with both the storage buses, and we're supposed to export into mainnet, not the subnet. Also I made facades, to make it look more pretty. And there's a little more logic on this now. We're doing all ore, and not cooperite, which is for some reason sheldonite. I think that's supposed to be a joke. Also not galena, and not sphalerite. We're processing those ones separately, so I don't want them to go in here. And I also set up the next one, for crushed, or the ore washer, which we can just build now. And you should put a sticky card on the other storage bus, which means everything filtered here has to go in here, and it can't go anywhere else. So that should be really good. Okay, so let's set up the ore washer now. I pre-crafted the casing. I knew it would take a long time, but we still need the controller, so I will encode that. Oh, more HV extruders. That's annoying. This one needs to move. Okay, we're just missing the funny glass, laminated glass. The next tier, after tempered. We just need polyvinyl butyrol. Please don't be chemistry. Please be simple. Oh. Polyvinyl acetate. Butyryldehyde. Why? Why do we have to do chemistry right now? Ethylene, acetic acid, oxygen, then plus more oxygen, then plus this, which is CO, plus hydrogen, plus propene. Okay, it's not that bad, genuinely. Do we have carbon monoxide somewhere? I swear we do. We might have to make it, maybe. All we have is CO2, not CO. Oh, we have it here. Nice. Titanium makes it, apparently. Okay. So how many machines is this? I'm tempted to do EV. Maybe with LCRs. So 1 machine, 2 machine, 3 machine, 4 machine. What's our acetic acid production like? We have it somewhere, I think. It's really hard to find anything in this stupid base. I know we've made this before, but are we buffering it? Acetone. That's not it. Acetic acid. Where's that coming from? MV? Maybe? Oh wait, is it one of these? Yes, okay, good. We have loads. Great. So 4 LCRs. I will do it here. Should be fine. So the first one should be easy. We're using quad input hatches. They're great. Ethylene, acetic acid, oxygen, and connect. Circuit 3 though. I need an input bus. Yay, 2 ticks. That's funny. Way too fast. But we want to bin the water. Also lock it. And the vinyl acetate goes in the next one. For polyvinyl acetate. We don't need to store vinyl acetate. But what about polyvinyl acetate? Unless we want glue, which we already have, so we're not going to. So input hatch, fluid interface. Oh wait, there's definitely ME hatches, aren't there? Yes. Oh well, this is fine. And we want oxygen. And also this. And it's circuit 1, so another input bus, a random one. How about I place these on the front, to be consistent, so I'll move this one too. There we go, polyvinyl acetate, and we combine with this. I guess we will store this one. Polyvinyl acetate. We can't pass it to the next one anyway, because there's a step before it, so we can have a drum. Okay, so we can make this now, with another quad hatch. My favourite, they're so good. CO, hydrogen, and propene. Also a storage bus on this. No circuit number, so that's nice. And we can pass this on to the next one. There we go. Butyryl. Lovely. Now we can have an input hatch, and another one. This one's full of that thing, and polyvinyl acetate goes in here. Or PVA, I suppose. And no circuit number, again. So easy peasy. Yay! Liquid polyvinyl butyrol, and we can store it. Apparently not. The temperature is very slightly too high. There's no use for this, other than the sheets. I'll change it to stainless steel. That's fine. There we go. And now we're storing it. Great. So we can immediately solidify this. Let's do MV. So input the green stuff, and request it. And it's 1 per glass, so we may need a bunch in the future. So might as well do a full draw. There we go. That was a weird tangent. I hate when chemistry just appears randomly, for one singular item. Okay, so now we can make a forming press. HV, but we might as well do EV, because we do have an EV line now. There we go. Also we can upgrade the arc furnace to EV as well. It was so slow before, when we did nuclear craft. So EV forming press, and EV arc furnace, which is only used for these two. We don't even need annealed copper anymore. It's on passive. And we also need oxygen for the arc furnace. There we go. So now we can make the upgraded glass, laminated, in the forming press. Okay, so now we can make the ore washer. Yes, okay, we can. By the way, here's the alloys for the casing that I pre-crafted. One was circuit 14, so we've got a separate bus, and the other one was 15, like the first one. Remember to enable this though, distinct buses, otherwise it breaks, I think. So remember to do that. There we go. Wasn't too bad. Like a minute. And we use the watertight casing. And we can use 4 amp energy hatch. These are really easy. I don't know why I've not been using it before. So this should be overclocked to IV with 1 hatch instead of 2. Saves a bit on space. So controller, ME output bus. We do have to make a stocking one. Again, it's IV stuff in this. So I will get on that. The most expensive part is definitely the sensor. It takes one of these, so I have to wait like a minute and a half. Everything else is fine. Just a conveyor, which is like one of the cheaper components. Not too bad. There we go. Lovely jubbly. I could autocraft those if I set up an IV line for on demand. So stocking input, ME output. Also, I want to use the first parallel hatch, the 4x1. It's quite expensive, 4 LUV for 1, so I made the circuits beforehand. It was a stack of EV, I think, which if you remember, we can make like 1,000 of those, no problem. So it really wasn't that bad. Just time, basically. So 1 elite parallel control hatch. We're just missing the cable. Okay, easy peasy. Yay, we can do it. Yeah, really not that bad, once you get the circuits out the way. I guess it's more quantum stars. My favourite. It's so slow. I'll build the rest of it. It looks like this. We're missing the casing though, so I'll get that going too. Also, I misplaced this. It doesn't go there. I can put the water hatch here. This goes on top. One more. One will be the parallel hatch. Remember. That's fine. There we go. The hatch can go here. Also, we need infinite water. Hopefully this is fine. Yay, the hatch is done. Not too bad to be honest. You can go here. Oh yeah. I'm stupid. I didn't miscount. Maintenance hatch. If this is too slow, we do have the aqueous accumulator. Remember. Yay! We want it on ore washer mode, and you change it here. There we go. So this is basically 4 EV machines, so it's running on IV power, if that makes sense. So let's plug it in. Okay, so do we need a circuit number? We want the byproducts. So circuit 1. Oh, also, distilled water. Might be a good idea. Oh well, I forgot about that. We just have to plug it in. And press this button. Oh, it does work. And we connect this to mainnet instead. Oh wait, why is it turning up here? Crushed Wildstar. I guess that includes crushed purified. Let's disconnect this while I change it. Crushed wildcard and not crushed purified wildcard. Okay, I think that works. So anything that's crushed, but not crushed purified. So any item where both of those is true, also known as just crushed. So it should work. So we can plug it in again and pull these out. The purified ones. Yes, okay, good. They don't turn up here now. Okay, so let's set up the next one now. Well, at least a subnet, and then I'll take a break. I think we'll have separate ones for these two. So ME chest, interface, a 64K. That's fine. There we go. Or dictionary storage bus, normal storage bus, and that should be everything, I think. So we can put ore dictionary on this one, and storage bus here. Remember to filter it, just in case, and sticky card in the storage bus. So we want to do crush purified. Should be easy. There we go. Insert only. And it shouldn't use the galena, or sheldonite, or sphalerite. It never puts that in an interface, only in a draw controller. So it shouldn't end up here, I don't think. So power, facade, and a bit of cable. Yay! It's already working. Let me add what's in here. Okay, good. This is working. And the next thing is to build the 2 centrifuges. But I'm going to take a break. Goodbye. Okay, I'm back. Let's make the centrifuges. Should be easy. There we go. We can make the controller. We'll build this one first. It will be thermal centrifuge. So energy, same thing as that one, 4 amp EV. Then it's some pipe casing. This is supposed to be like a rotor or something. I don't know. This is where the controller goes. And now it's a ring. Input goes there, output goes there, and the top is just this. There we go. And parallel hatch here. I might make all the stocking buses now, or at least the sensors, because they take forever. The rest are fine. It's really not that bad. There we go. We have the other one. Same exact thing. We're missing a few casing though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, that's fine. We could have wall shared these, this slice, but I can't be bothered. We're only saving on alloys and stuff, so it doesn't really matter. There we go. We can make the 3 stocking input buses. And the casing is done. Yay. So we're just missing the parallel hatches. By the way, the 60NX one requires ZPM, and so on, for the 64, and the 256. So we won't get those anytime soon. The 60NX one's kinda soon, I suppose. But we need to do LUV stuff before then. So we only can make the 4X ones, for now. So let me get 2 going. More quantum stars. That's horrible. Anyway, we have these 2. Oh wait, I forgot maintenance. Again. So we were only 4 short, not 6. Oh well. I should probably set up the subnets for this one and this one. This one for dust pure and dust impure. These are the ones that you centrifuge. We won't be getting any of these by default. Only stuff we've filtered, specifically. But I'll do some filtering later. It'll work out. Don't worry. We're just working on default ore processing, and anything you filter will differ from that. But there has to be a default. So I'll get this one going. So 2 ME chests, some storage buses, and interfaces. Simple. Yay, maintenance. I forgot about that. I can't believe I keep forgetting. So ore dictionary for the normal centrifuge, dust pure, wildcard, or dust impure, wildcard. I think that works. We have to use or here, and not and. Otherwise it'll try and do both, which is not possible. There's no dust that is both impure and pure. By the way, the or character is like a line, it's not a colon. On a British keyboard, it's beside Z. I've never used it before. Maybe if you've done coding, you might be familiar, but I haven't really done that. By the way, these two are done. The parallel hatches. And we can set this one to thermal. And this one stays as normal. Also a storage bus, for manual filtering, barrier, sticky card. Then we want power, and AE2 connection. And 64K. These are fine to craft now, that we have the cheapest EV. They're really easy. So this should only accept dust pure, or dust impure. We have some redstone here. Yes, it works. Let's give everything power. Okay, we're ready to go. But before we turn this on, let me filter up this one first, so it doesn't put everything in the EMI system. So ore dictionary, this is for crushed centrifuged, wildcard, and a normal storage bus. Barrier, put the 64K in, give it power, and connect everything. Don't forget the facades. So only centrifuge stuff should turn up here. Let's give it a test by turning on this. There we go, and connect the output to mainnet. And it should turn up here. Yeah, easy peasy. And this should work too. Although nothing's going in here at the moment. Except this, that we put in. But it did work, which is good. We do have some of this stuff. We can test it out with this. Purified pile. And it does go in here. Great. Okay, so time for a macerator. Another one. I probably should have pre-crafted the casing. Oh well. I only did it for these three. 67 casing, and the wheels. But I'll make the controller first. Seems easy. There we go. Okay, so the casing. And 18 crushing wheels. Everything is fine. It's just going to take like half an hour. Again. Also, I got reminded I definitely need a sifter for the gems. Otherwise, we're just not going to get any. We're just going to get the dust. And we don't want that. So we want the large sifting funnel to do this step, for example. So we can get the gems, and exquisites, and flawless, and also purified pile, which will automatically go in this one. So that's good. Also, more vibration safe casing, which is great. It's the same one as this, so no new alloys. And it should work perfectly with a filtered one of these, with the sticky card. We want to be sifting the purified ore, which comes out of this. And we want to sift it before it goes in here. But the sticky card works with that. It should be sifted, if it's filtered, instead of in there. So that is great. We just need to build it. But it's more casing again. 59. We have 2, so 57. Vanadium steel. Guess I'll do 50. And then extra 7. Yeah, there we go. Anyway, this might take forever. We might need an electrolyzer too. I'm not sure if that's part of ore processing though. But there will be space after we add the sifter. I will build another chunk. So I will be back when this is all finished. Okie dokie, the macerator's done, and the sifter just started, so we should be able to set this up rather easily. Stocking input bus, ME output bus, 4 amp of EV, converter, maintenance. The parallel hatch is making, should be a minute or 2. And we're missing 3. That might be fine. Yes, we have spare. And the crushing wheels. And we can also plug it in. And the parallel hatch. Yay! That was easy. So this should be completely ready for us to just connect it. And press the button. Yay! So if you ever want to do any of the other routes for ores, like for silver, we want extra lead, not sulfur. Sulfur's not really important at all. So we would filter this in the second macerator before it gets washed. So like this. We just need a sticky card. There we go. And now if we macerate silver ore, it should not be washed. It should just be macerated and then macerated again. So let's test it out. There we go. And it should end up in this system. Yes. Brilliant. And that should be macerated into impure and turn up in this one. And if we want these two, we also filter the macerator, but with the purified ore. So it's washed and then turns up here. And because it's just pure, the output, it turns up in that one. By the way, the default two are these two. So using our method, we can choose any of these, or any ore. We do need to sort out the gems though. They don't quite work at the moment without the sifter. So I'll wait for this to do. I'll set up the subnet while I'm waiting. So ME chest, interface, 64K, just a regular storage bus. We don't need to filter this one at all with ore dictionary, because there's nothing we can really do. There's no like purified gem or anything, so we just have to manually filter. But we've got so much space in storage buses that we should be completely fine. So power, storage bus, insert only, high priority, sticky card, barrier, for now. Also a facade. There we go. So we want to sift everything here. Purified coal, purified lapis, everything like that. There's about 30-ish to possibly filter, so this is plenty of space, if we get some capacity cards. By the way, this sort of design, I saw average GregTech player do. I just went through his live streams, or Nomi, and see how he did it. It seems rather good, actually. I don't know if he designed it, or if he saw it somewhere else, but I did not make this up, for your information. There we go. Look at all this space. So purified coal, purified lapis, and I'll be right back once I've done this. It might take a while. There we go. All done. And now if you put this in, purified blue topaz, it should be filtered. Yes. Brilliant. This works really well. The only ores I should filter to choose the path are probably the micro mission ores. There's no point doing any others. So for example all these, I'll filter through. It's not actually that much work. Most of them will be default, so I don't need to do anything. Okay, so I'm just going to wait until this is finished, and then we can make the sifter to complete ore processing. There might be an electrolyzer that we need, but I'm not really sure. Okay, I'm back. Everything is done, so we should be able to make the cool awesome sifter. It looks like this. It's very weird to build, I must say. So input, output, energy, and a converter. Parallel hatch. And the rest is just this, or the first layer, at least. And the second layer is a weird pattern. Like that? Without this? Yes, I think so. And now it's just a ring, I think. And a grate. And this is where the controller goes. And this layer again. And then the top bit. And the maintenance hatch. Yay! We had too many this time, instead of too little. So P2P, full power. And there's nothing left to do really, than to sift these. We have some diamond by the way. I've just been chucking random ores in, as like a test. And it's been working so well. And if you are curious, these are the only ores that I've had to filter differently. 99% of the ores use the default route. It's the best one. There's only like a couple that I've found that differ from it. I'll probably find more over time. I looked through so many ores, and that's all I could find. But we should be able to turn this on, like so. And it's going. Look at those percentages by the way. Very high, because it's running at EV. Maybe IV? I don't know which one it pulls the tier from, for the chances, but it's much better than default. So now we're getting a bunch of this stuff. Everything should go back into the ME system, except the purified pile. That should turn up in this one. Yeah. That one's so fast by the way. It's rapid. Cool. Everything's working very nicely. Okay, so this should be done. And I can start processing all this, slowly. Amazing. So we can start chucking everything in. And it should be completely fine. It might take a while to go through it all, but after it's all done, the input of ore shouldn't be that fast. Until probably a lot later on. But the great thing is we can upgrade these with the energy and the parallel hatches. They can get so crazy. There's a 256 one. I don't know why you would want to use that, but you can. So don't worry about the speed. It's completely fine. Oh wait, why is this turning up here? Centrifuge stuff. Oh yeah, I forgot. This technically includes that, because crushed centrifuged is both of these. Let me fix that. So and, not, crushed, centrifuged. Wild card. Okay, this should work now. Let's get these out. There we go. Now it's running. I was wondering why this wasn't going. Glad I fixed that. I thought everything was working to be honest. But now it's working. I promise. Okay, so I think it's time to end. Ore processing is done. I will try and process a lot of things between episodes to try and get all this ore out of the ME system and into materials that we can actually use. Also, this is going up on Christmas Eve, so Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. There will be a bit of a break, I think. Like maybe a week, maybe more, I'm not too sure. I want a bit of a break myself. Also, I can't really record anyway. There's people in my house. Who let them in? Anyway, I hope you all have a wonderful time, and I'll be back in a bit. So I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all next time.